Hey, hello, and welcome to my Final Destination video. With the release of Final Destination Bloodlines, I decided that I wanted to do a retrospective on the whole series. I've always loved these movies, although until recently I'd never seen 4 and 5, so yes, I am a fake fan. But I did a whole marathon before going to see Bloodlines. I watched all 5 of them, and then I saw Bloodlines last night. I liked it very much. I thought it was good, a great addition to the franchise, and I really hope they make more. But as I'm rewatching, I'm like, I really want to do a ranking of all the deaths. There's some good ones in there. There's some really good ones, and there's some duds. And I just thought it would be fun to go through and kind of make a little numbered list of, what the best ones are, what the worst ones are. And trust me, I have a lot of opinions on this. I'm sure you're wondering about my, choice of attire today. First off, this was the only shirt I owned with a skull on it, and I thought that really just fit the whole franchise. Um, and then as for the hair, I'm sure you're surprised, but this is not my natural hair. Um, this was originally meant for a sexy Velma Halloween costume that I never wore, but I realized it also kind of works as Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And we all love Wendy. Final Destination 3, not going to spoil where it's at on my list. An amazing movie. Everybody loves Wendy. And feel like I give Wendy a little bit with the wig, so we're just gonna go with it. And just watch this wig throughout the video. It's gonna give you an idea of just how gagged I am at all these different deaths. Now I want to go through my rules a little bit before I really start going, because unlike death, I do have more consistent rules on how this ranking is gonna go. So I'm ranking the deaths based off of three things. I'll say build up, spectacle, and character. Build up is really important in the Final Destination death. This is all of the little trappings and signs before you actually get the kill. And I think this is really most of my highest ones have this. We do have, stuff like Terry in one where she gets hit by the bus. That's just very quick, like it's a punchline. I call those deaths punchlines. They're quick, they're fast, they're good, but they don't have all those little things that build up to them. I know Terry in one, we did see the bus in the window, so there is that build up to it. But I'm really talking about like in the trailer for Bloodlines, the barbecue, that scene. Oh, the build up was crazy. It's the tension before it. And the build up is really more for the audience than the characters. Sometimes the characters will see the signs coming, but for us as the audience, it's like the tension is off the charts. We don't know how they're going to die. Are they going to eat the glass? Are they going to, fall over? Are they going to get burned? We don't know because there's 50 different things that could happen. Like, is the computer going to short out? We don't know. Okay. And when there is that level of uncertainty in the buildup, that is kind of a big element to what makes a good death for me. Um, Second, spectacle. Spectacle for me is kind of like the moment of death or the method of death. Okay, so we could have something that maybe doesn't have good build up. Let's go back to Terry. The spectacle of it is good. The moment of it is good. She's in the middle of a sentence, boom, gets hit by the bus. Like, we're gagged as the audience, like, whoa, that really just happened. Now I wouldn't say the bus is the best example, but I'm thinking about other ones. If we're spectacle involves like level of gore. Like, how gory are we getting? How gnarly is it? How creative is it? The creativity is a big aspect of it to me too, and the spectacle. Okay, we don't want boring deaths that could happen to anybody. We want some crazy, wacky shit. In my opinion, Final Destination, this is a wacky franchise. I feel like a lot of other horror movies, they struggle because we have to be grounded. We have the mask killer. Okay, the mask killer has a knife. Maybe he has a machete. If he's creative, he's doing some stuff like, Jason with the Bay of Blood tease where he stabs up through the bed, gets two of them. Um, if he's creative. But a lot of times it's just knives and backs. And Final Destination can be so much more than that because we don't have a human killing people. We have the entity of death. Okay? And death can get on some Rube Goldberg shit. And that is what we love to see. And that's where the spectacle, I think, comes into it. We want the wackiness of it. My third aspect, character. This is probably the least important out of my three rankings. But I like it when the death really coincides with the character. I don't want to go too much into specifics because there's instances I'm going to talk about while I'm talking about the list. Um, but there's characters that we hate that we're glad to see die. There's characters that we love that we are, sad to see die. And I feel like either hating or being endeared to a character does make a death that much better. There's certain deaths that are lower on this list because I remember just feeling like nothing. I was like, okay, like that was blood on my screen. I don't really know this person, so it's not like a member of my family just died. Like we're gonna be okay. But the higher up ones, yeah. Although on the other end, there are characters where I rank them really low because I didn't like how the character was treated in death. So that one's kind of an X factor. And goes with my secret fourth factor, personal bias. This is my list. Like if you don't like it, you can flame me like Sam at the end of five. You can flame me harder than him in that plane. This is my opinion. Like everybody has an opinion, everybody has something to say, and this is my take on it.
You know, that's just my opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say.
You can have your own take. Of course, mine is the right one, but you can have your wrong take, and that is okay. Um, my other big thing is that I'm not including deaths on the list that happened in Visions, um, and didn't actually kill the character. There's multiple visions, obviously, in every movie. Well, not multiple, but there's visions in every movie, and sometimes those deaths are really great. I'm thinking specifically of like the sailboat in five. I love that death, but she doesn't die that way. She dies a different way. Um, so I'm not going to include those, but because I'm not including those, I am going to do a separate ranking here at the beginning of the opening visions, um, because I feel like it would be bereft if I didn't talk about that. So I'm just going to go into that. Like, we're just rambling. This video is off the cuff, I'm doing my best to like stay punchy and fresh. And we're going to get into it. Um, so on the list of visions, the bottom is Final Destination, not the Final Destination. The bottom is Final Destination, the OG, the original. Now, before I get dragged on this, like there wasn't this was the original, like they were finding their footing and they were working out the kinks of it, and I don't think they knew how crazy they could get yet, because especially like you got to think about it, the audience, they've never seen a Final Destination movie before. This is 1999, 2000, whatever. Like we're in the theater, like what's this movie about? We don't know. Maybe we saw a trailer, maybe we saw a poster. So it's really easing us into the concept, which is why we don't have those really crazy individual deaths. I mean, I'm thinking about what happens in the plane one. I mean, he gets the signs like the broken tray table. The turbulence is good. I like the turbulence how it stops and they're like, oh, and then like it starts again and they're like, oh fuck, we're gonna die. And that's good. Um, but the plane just explodes and they all die. And you're not really able to discern the order when you're watching the scene. You're able to figure it out through the seat map that they show on the TV. So it's just kind of a meh. Like we're it's whatever, honestly. Um, I just generally don't like divisions when they're all in the same vehicle, which I guess only really applies to like two of them. But it feels like there's less we can really do with the different ways people die, because it's like we're all in the same place, we're all going to the same place, we're all probably gonna die in similar ways. Um, Next up, I would say Final Destination 4. I am going to call it 4. I'm not calling it The Final Destination because that's a stupid title and they shouldn't have called it that. I don't like it when horror movies do the thing where they release another one, like that's a sequel or a requel or whatever, or even a remake when they use the same title as the original. Like Halloween, I think, has done that like twice and it pissed me off because just give it a subtitle. Like, obviously, we're probably not going to confuse it with the original, but it just makes it more annoying, like search engine wise. And actually, you know what? The Final Destination pisses me off more because y'all added the at the beginning. Like that's it, okay? And then they went back to the numbering convention in five. Like what were you doing? Okay, and then we had Bloodlines, which I said I like a subtitle, but it's like we're gonna do the Final Destination, then five, then Bloodlines. Like what is the next one going to be another subtitle? I hope it is, because if they go back to seven, I'm going to bust out laughing. That is really stupid. I'm sorry, this got off track. Just like those cars in Final Destination 4. Oh, the segue. Okay. Um, I don't like Final Destination 4. You're going to hear me say that a lot throughout this. It's bad. Uh, the premonition is just whatever. I think I like a premonition that feels close to me, and I am not into NASCAR. I'm not going to be at the racetrack. I'm not going to get hit by a flying tire. Doesn't apply to me. Um, the characters in this one, flat. I don't care for them. I remember the main one when it flashes back to him after the premonition is over. He's just like this, like he barely reacts. Like Alex in the first one was like sweating. He's like, but but Nick is just like, oh, we're all gonna die. Like, oh, that sucks. Like maybe you should be a little more worried about that, boo boo. Um, I can't really remember like the stands collapse. I know there's a stampede. The deaths just weren't bombastic for me. It's Final Destination 4. It should count itself lucky that it's not at the bottom. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get dragged for this next one. I'm really gonna get dragged for this. I would say that, oh my gosh. Yeah, the next step would be Final Destination 3. Yeah. Listen, I know I'm repping Wendy right now. That doesn't mean I'm always gonna say that 3 is the best. I like 3. Let me say that. I do like 3. I like the fact that the Devil's Flight, the build up to it, Tony Todd being the voice of the devil, so good. I like the amusement park concept. I think that's good. I'm glad they went with that. But it's the same thing about they're all on the roller coaster. A lot of them just fall off and die. And like that doesn't give spectacle. It doesn't give creative. I know the one dude who I can't remember his name. He lives almost, is it Kevin? I think it's Kevin. He's on the train at the end. He gets impaled. That one I kind of liked. I'm pretty sure Wendy just falls. Honestly, this one was kind of neck and neck with 4, which is insane to say. The thing that put it above for me was the loop scene when they're stuck on the top of the loop and they have to like swing back and forth. That was good. I like that. I like the tension of that and them about to fall because the harness was not on. That was good. The rest of it was just meh. Um, I know that people remember this as like an iconic one. For me, it was just okay. It's like it does the job. I would say it's good, but I wouldn't say it's great. The next one, on the other hand, is great. I think I might be biased because I noticed in my list I really actually like this one a lot more than some people seem to. I would say that the third best vision is Final Destination 5. And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, well, there's 2 left, and I know which one is going to be number 1. So how the hell did you put that one in number 2? We're going to get to that in a minute. Final Destination 5 is iconic for many reasons to me. Obviously, the twist at the end, which I'm going to talk about later. But wow, the bridge scene. We love it. And you know, you could say, oh, they wanted Two's nachos with the road. No, the bridge is different. It's very different because it's not a car crash, it's the bridge collapsing. Yes, they're on the road, but the bridge is collapsing. I love all the signs leading up to it, the big ass square hole in the pavement. The music playing on the radio is good, him pricking his thumb is good. The actual deaths, though, are what really set this apart for me. Um, I think it's Candace that gets the sailboat. Yeah, amazing. Like that would be so high if that was a real death on the list for me because it's just like it's really good. And it also like that part when I watched that I was like, why does it seem like they're trying to do Forrest thing with the 3D? Because Final Destination 4 was in 3D. That was the big marketing gimmick. Like death comes at you in 3D. And it was really funny to watch it, in the year of our Lord 2025 because obviously it looks terrible. But when I watched it in 5, I was like, this actually would have ate in 3D. The sailboat coming up through the middle of her. I like that the pervert like falls through the bus and gets drowned and the bus explodes. We love that. The monkey bars on like the railing was so good when they're climbing. And Peter gets impaled by the metal poles. All amazing. I was sad about what happened to Olivia in this scene, but I kind of am an Olivia bias in general when it comes to Final Destination. Um, Also, when she fell in the water and lived, I was kind of like, it's scary, but like some of them should have just jumped. I mean, maybe Death would have followed them because you know how Death is. He's kind of a messy bitch, and he definitely followed Olivia with the car crushing her. But I think y'all could have jumped in the water and tried to swim for it. It would have been better than staying on the bridge. I don't know. Um, a good ass vision. It's a good one. Okay. This is like really controversial, and I feel like I'm gonna get dragged for like recency bias. Like you just saw the movie last night, of course you think it's good, and I think that could be part of it. But I think the second best vision is Final Destination 6, Bloodlines. Like, hear me out, okay? First of all, period piece, which none of the other ones have really done. And before you say 5, like we didn't know that it was a period piece, so that doesn't count. Bloodlines has the whole aesthetic. We get the like Space Needle-esque tower. She's freaking out. The bolts are coming out as the elevator's going up. He's like, we completed construction 5 months early. She's like, what the hell? Everyone is just fine with this, which I love that she's the only one who has an issue with this. The rich assholes, the kid. Oh my God, the kid. The kid is so funny. I love that they had the balls to just fucking kill a kid. Like, and the way he dies, the piano falling on him, is amazing. People were laughing in the theater at that, and I feel like the fact that they were laughing at the kid dying shows you how good that was. And he deserved it because he started all that shit with the penny. He really did. Oh, her name is Iris. Yes, Iris. Her whole journey. I love that the proposal is part of it. That's great. Her journey through the needle to try to escape. The stairs collapse. Obviously, the elevator. The maitre d' gets beheaded. Um, and I did predict the thing with the kid being like little Tony Todd. I like that she saves him, and they're the last two hanging on. Honestly, the one moment that like put this above five for me was the ring. So she has her ring finger of the ring that her boyfriend just gave her. The ring is here. She got two pieces of metal right here. All that's holding her up is the ring. That's it. And the skin starts coming off her finger. Boom. She falls, she dies, she gets impaled, I think. The visual of the finger skin coming off was so gross to me. I was like, yeah, this is kind of taking it. Like this is good. And that's why it's number two. Now you want to talk about number two. Number one is number two, Final Destination 2. And this, I am biased towards Final Destination 2. I'm really biased. I love it. I love Kimberly, and I really love the opening vision. It's good. I think because it manages to do something that not a lot of the other ones are able to, which is like introduce us to all these characters in quick succession. We get all the different cars on the road, and I feel like you get a really good idea of who these people are quickly. You have Rory in the car doing drugs, trying to hide from the police officer. Evan's like the newly rich asshole in the car. The mom and the kid. The kid's stupid. He's fucking with the water bottles. The dude driving drunk in the truck. Uh, and Kimberly and her friends, obviously. The pregnant lady, the motorcyclist, the police officer. I think I'm forgetting a couple of people, but like you got everybody, and we kind of know who these people are, even though we've just been introduced to them. Um, and the buildup is just so good. The Highway to Hell on the radio, the music. Um, Evan, after he's frying in the car, like I love when they burn. And that makes me sound like Jigsaw, but I love when they burn, okay? Like this girl is on fire. Like let's get it popping. I really liked Kimberly, like the truck is tipped over, the car is tipped over, Kimberly and her friends are crying, watches the truck come towards her and it crushes her. Apparently, the Final Destination wiki, which I used for research on this, apparently that truck is called the Truck from Hell, which I don't know what that means, but I feel like that's a valid name for it because it was crushing through everything. I just think it's so funny how in this vision, so many cars are just continuing to like full speed ahead. Like let's wreck some shit. Like this is Monster Jam, Monster Truck, whatever. And I enjoy that. Like it doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be how a real pileup would go. I want to see shit blow up. I do. Like let's get it Michael Bay popping in here. And oh, I could not talk about this scene without mentioning the logs. People always harken back to Flight 180. Flight 180 is the OG of the series. Like Flight 180 is what we will always keep coming back to. But honestly, the log truck is kind of more iconic. People will switch lanes on the road because they're behind a log truck because of this movie. Like people see a log truck and think of this movie. And honestly, I'm gonna get to this later too. Final Destination knows how iconic the logs are. Like the fact that in Bloodlines, that was a motif that got brought back multiple times. Like they're eating off their own nachos, okay? They know that the logs are a primal fear for many of us and were a moment. I would argue that the logs are probably like the most iconic thing in the franchise. That's debatable, I think, but from the Vision's most iconic thing, even if the rest of the Vision was trash, I think it would be like middle of the road just because of the logs. And I love Final Destination too. Um, so we're gonna segue into the death list, and uh, we're gonna talk about why I don't love Final Destination 2. So, I counted 47 deaths for this list. Um, there aren't exactly 47 people who died in all the movies. Because of my rules, I'm not counting people who die in visions. I generally, minus like maybe one exception, I'm not counting people who die off screen. I'm not counting. Oh, and I will be counting certain people together, which I know people are like, well, I thought you were ranking all the deaths. Well, you want me to rank the one where they all died at the same time in the same way. There is one higher up in the list, which probably should be split into two, but it's my list and I do what I want. Like, it's my party and I'll cry when I want to, okay? And you can make your own list if you don't like it. Okay. So, number 47, Alex, the main character of the franchise. This section of deaths is what I would like to call the hashtag whack slash personal beef section. I have personal beef with these deaths. The way they were done, I don't like them. And I'm not saying I think they're boring. There's some of these that aren't like the worst death-wise. Like they might have build-up or spectacle or character. But I think actually most of these don't have any of them. Fuck them. Fuck these deaths. They're awful. Alex, I know a lot of people agree with this. It sucks that he died off screen. I do like that it gave Clear more of like the final girl aesthetic, like because she's the only one to make it to another movie minus Tony Todd. Because obviously Kimberly doesn't come back on screen. Um, but it just sucks. And a brick to the head? I'm sorry, a brick to the head is nothing. Like I could walk that off. The dude's in Home Alone. He was walking that off in Home Alone too. Kevin was throwing bricks down at him. He'd get back up like it was nothing. You know? Honestly, sorry, the Wet Bandits need to be in Final Destination because why would they clear? Like they would just not die. But yeah, Alex dying off screen sucks ass. Um, and I know it was due to scheduling conflicts with the actor. It sucks. I don't like it. And it's an off-screen death, which is why it is at the bottom of the list. Number 46, you're gonna see also how pissed off I am about this. Clear. They killed Clear off like it was nothing. Like, I just said that shit about she's the only one to come back for two movies. She's iconic. You know, in Final Destination 2, they put her ass in the center of the poster, not Kimberly, the main character of the movie. They put Clear in the center of the poster. Like, this is the girl that asses were in seats for. And they killed her in that fuck ass explosion. She opened the door, she was like this, like, hi. And I was like, them focusing on her charred body. I get that it's to show us that she's really dead. I didn't like it. You're gonna laugh. It felt gratuitous because this is clear. Like she deserved a better death scene than that. And also the fact that she had to share this death with Eugene is crazy to me. Like she doesn't get her own insane death. Like, you know, all those times in the first one when the electrical wires were shaking around, she doesn't get any of that. She opens the door, boom, she's dead. Shock reaction to Kimberly. That's it. That's all we get. It's disappointing. And I don't like it. And number 45 is Eugene. I'm kind of grouping him in here because he died with her. Um, but I just don't like when they kill characters in like hospital beds or when the characters don't really have the agency to fight back. Obviously, it's death. You can't really fight back in ways that matter a ton. You need somebody to save you. But Eugene was just laid up in the bed like he had no shot. That isn't exciting to me. I mean, I could smother somebody with a pillow if they were laying in the bed. Death, you're a messy queen, and you need to put more work into your kills, okay? Because I mean, I know he did all this shit with the oxygen and the fire. He loves the oxygen and the fire. Like, let's make stuff blow up. But Clear deserved better. I know you hated her ass because she made you wait for a long ass time to kill her. I mean, not Iris long, but she was definitely up there on the hit list. So she deserved better, and Eugene did by proxy. I liked Eugene. He was cool. Number 44 also pissed me off just massively. Fuck Final Destination 4. George. So George was probably one of the most likable characters of 4 to me because he has the whole backstory about driving drunk and then his wife and his kid died, so he hates himself. He tries to kill himself, but he can't kill himself, which is kind of interesting. Like, oh, you have to go in death's order. Um, And then later on in the movie, he just gets blindsided by an ambulance. Like he's talking to Nick, middle of the sentence, boom, he gets tarried. I mean, like Terry with the bus in one.
Then you can just drop fucking dead.
And he deserved better than that. This is just another case of like he deserved more than that, like a more exciting death scene. It felt like his death was just to move the plot along, which I know they all are, but this just felt mean. And for us to give Nick a shocked reaction to. So Nick could be like, he's dead. Like, I have to go save my friends. Like, no, he deserved better than that. And the fact that they replayed it because Ford does this thing where Nick has another vision of everything that goes wrong at the mall. And of course, that vision starts right before George gets hit. So we get to watch George get hit twice. And Nick is like, wait, no, like tries to save him. It doesn't work because of course George can't be safe. I'm sorry, George. I would have written you a better death. Number 43, this is the last one in the deaths that I really hate section, is also from 4. It's the cowboy. You might not remember him because he was not important. I remember him because I thought he was hot. And I thought it was really cute that in the beginning he like moved aside for them and he was very chivalrous and I like that. He was also another case of laid up in the hospital bed and couldn't do shit. They had him up there like Rick Grimes in like the first episode of The Walking Dead. Like he was fucked up. He was crawling out the bed like, ugh. And then of course, the bath overflows in the room above him, falls down and crushes him right when they open the door and try to save him. It just made me sad. Um, Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I love cowboys, and I would have put that loving on him. I could have kissed it better. Death could not have stopped me. He deserved better than that. I wish he hadn't been at the racetrack. I wish he hadn't been in the movie, so he would have been safe. Obviously, then I would not know he existed, but I like him, and he deserved better. So yeah. This next section is a pretty significant portion of the list. I like to call this the punchline slash forgettable section. This is a lot of the deaths that happen quickly. We don't get a lot of build up with these ones. Maybe some spectacle, maybe a little build up. Definitely not the best, characters on here. There's some important characters here, but I feel like these deaths aren't the deaths you think of when you think of Final Destination. They're kind of the deaths that happen to move the plot along. Like, oh, we need this character to die so we can get to this point in the order. Or the deaths to give us a quick punch, a quick scare, or like maybe a comedy moment. Although I think the best comedic deaths are further up there. Number 42, I grouped all of Kimberly's friends together. They get hit by the truck from hell. I thought it was funny that the stoner was trying to hide the weed before. That was kind of funny. I don't really remember the other dude's personality, and I don't remember the other girl's personality. Um, they were all kind of flops. Kimberly really outsold them in every meaningful way. Um, it's okay. Like it does what it needs to. Her friends weren't going to stick around for the rest of the movie. Boom, the car explodes and they're gone. Number 41 is Perry, which happened in the third one. This is during the finale at the Tricentennial celebration thing, which I didn't love as a finale, if I'm being honest. I know the fireworks was like an element to it, like, oh, are they gonna get blown up by fireworks? Are they gonna get trampled by a horse? It wasn't exciting to me. Like it wasn't as good as some of the other finales. And Perry is a part of that. I'm gonna be real, I did not know who Perry was until I was doing the research for this video because it said on the list Perry. I'm like, the platypus, who is that? Turns out it's one of Wendy's sister's friends who was also on the roller coaster, obviously. She gets impaled by a flagpole. I'm gonna be real, I kind of totally forgot that happened. She wasn't important as a character, so yeah, just forgettable. Sorry, Perry. You know, you stacked Doofenshmirtz, but at what cost? Number 40 is Molly from the fifth one.
Hi guys, so while I was editing, I realized that I completely got Molly's death wrong. She does not die from just falling to the ground. She actually dies, according to the wiki, from a bisection due to the plane's horizontal stabilizer. And I rewatched the movie, and this is totally right, and I was totally wrong. And I'm kind of surprised I forgot this death because it was pretty good. If I was gonna really rank it correctly, I would say it's probably close to where Sam is at on the list when we get there. You can just remember that and be like, Molly's with him, together in life, together in death. But for now, let's just enjoy my completely inaccurate take on Molly's death.
Uh, when she dies on Flight 180. I thought this one was kind of weird because we didn't see her die in Sam's vision. So it was like unclear whether she was gonna die. I'm assuming what happened was either that it was just her time or she died after his vision ended, which kind of makes the most sense. But I don't really like how they leave that unaddressed. I wish we had more of an explanation for that. I mean, I guess you could use Bloodline's explanation of like don't fuck with death, but that was one thing I didn't like about Bloodlines. It just feels like a way for them to be like, oh, he can just kill whoever he wants to. Like he normally goes by the list, but if you fuck with them, and all of these people in these movies do is fuck with him, so he can do whatever he wants, I guess, except drop a meteor on Iris's house. Sorry, I'll get to that. Um, yeah, Molly was whatever. She flew at the plane. I mean, it was we didn't see her die. Maybe she fell and she lived. Maybe she fell in the water. She would not live from that height. I'm joking, but it was whatever. It was a death scene. It was not memorable. I sort of like Molly. Like she was all right. So it was kind of sad. Number 39, Janet, Lori, and Nick, which is the ending of four. I like how this transitions into the credits. It's so 2000s. But Final Destination 4, again, it sucks. Uh, I think it's funny that Nick warns the construction guy before, like, oh, you need to secure that screw. It's always the screws in these movies. Then the construction tower falls, messes with the truck hits the cafe, boom, 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 we die. The best thing about it is the transition to the credits because it means Final Destination 4 is over and I can stop watching it. Um, just not really all that. Sorry. Number 38. Oh my gosh, who could it be? It's Wendy. Do I look like Mary Elizabeth Winstead here? It's Wendy. And by the way, I am including Wendy, Kevin, and Wendy's sister's deaths on this list, even though they happened in a vision technically. Wendy's dead. She's not coming back. I know there's Wendy truthers out there that think she somehow survived. She didn't. Her ass is dead. And I think it played out like it did in the vision. I mean, that's the only information we have, so I'm counting that as a death. We heard the screams, like in the credits. She's dead. Okay. They want us to believe that she somehow Spider-Man her way off the train. She's gone. I'm sorry. And she's this low because her death was just kind of boring because it's from her perspective. I think she gets crushed. I mean, everybody gets crushed in these movies. Wendy, we love you. You're an amazing actress. You are an amazing character. Your death is not memorable, especially because people don't even believe that it happened, They don't it's freaking QAnon for Wendy. Sorry. Okay, so number 37, I would say is Peter. I liked Peter, and this is from Final Destination 5. They all have these boring ass names. It's like who is who. I liked Peter. I thought he was really hot, which, I'm easy, but I thought he was attractive. I looked up his other roles and this was kind of his biggest role. Also followed him on Instagram. Yikes. Um, he gets stabbed through the chest with a metal pole by Sam, and I don't like it when the characters kill each other. Like that's Death's job. Like leave that to Death, please. Also, and I'm gonna get to actually really soon, Ian, from Final Destination 3, he tries to kill some people. I'm just like, it's boring. Like, people can get shot in real life. Like, people aren't gonna have this crazy shit happen to them, like the craziest shit in these movies in real life. That's not plausible. Um, I mean, I think this is the only time Peter is like the only time when I think a survivor kills another survivor of a vision. It's just weak to me. We could have done something better. We were in the kitchen, like we could have cooked a little more. Literally, they were in the kitchen for this scene. We should have been cooking on what we could do to Peter. Number 36, I just mentioned him, Ian. He gets crushed by the cherry picker at the Tricentennial in Final Destination 3. Um, I just didn't like Ian, but his death wasn't satisfying in a way that some other characters that I don't like, their death is satisfying. He just got crushed, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to watch him anymore. I really don't have much to say about him. I just didn't like him. Like, your girlfriend's dead. Get over it. You're in a horror movie. This is the territory. Number 35, another person whose name I wouldn't have known if not for the wiki, Nadia Monroy. This is the girl really early in 4. She gets like attacked by the flying tire that comes up out of the stadium while they're basically in the parking lot and kills her. This confused me because so they've already gone out of the stadium and like kind of cheated Death by not being there for their original deaths. But Death is able to send a tire flying out of the stadium to hit her in the parking lot. So I'm like, if he can do that, why wouldn't he just send like 14 tires meticulously aimed at the people he wants to kill? You know, he's just very finicky. I think the explanation to a lot of these questions is death is a messy bitch. Like they've cheated him once and he needs to make them pay. Like he is Jigsaw. He needs to torture them. So I think the tire it's a little nice scare for the beginning, a little more blood in real life, which, it's not in a vision, it's real, scares the characters, that's good. Um, but it's in Final Destination 4, which is like negative 50 points. So that's why it's low. Number 34 is the mother from Bloodlines. I can't remember her name. It's the mom of Stephanie and Charlie, and I should have looked on the wiki before I started recording. But you know who I'm talking about. It's the one who like ran away in her little RV and left them behind for years. Um, I thought it was funny that she's like, I'm gonna stay alive as long as I can. Boom, gets crushed by the light pole. But it's just another crushing. Like it didn't gag me. It needed to happen for what was going on in the movie to move on to Stephanie and Charlie facing death. Um, and I like Charlie's reaction to it. I think he did a good job of like being shocked, because I just watched my mom get crushed by a light pole. But it's just a crushing death. And it was honestly probably the weakest death in six for me, just because of how I think on the list it is the weakest one. It's just like quick and then it's like we're on to the next thing, whatever. Number 33 is Todd Packer from Final Destination 5. I know that this is not his real name, another one of like I can't remember his name. He was the boss of The Office, and he plays Todd Packer in the television show The Office on NBC. So I just call him Todd Packer because the character is virtually the same, like an important executive at a paper company who's an asshole. He plays the character exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if this was like Todd Packer's long lost identical cousin. And he dies in the warehouse right after all the stuff with Roy and Nathan when the wrench like goes through his head. I really like the image of like the wrench being like this through his head. I thought it was good. But it's a punchline. It's quick. It's for the characters to react to. The build-up isn't there. I think there's like a little build-up. As a character, he was annoying, but I wasn't like cheering that he died. I'm trying to think. The way I just remembered, I totally forgot somebody. Uh, like the federal agent or whoever it was from five, he's not on the list. But he would be near the bottom because it's just another boring like you got shot death. So we're gonna just pretend that one isn't there. But yeah, Todd Packer wrench through the face. It's for the plot, whatever. Number 32, and I might get hate for this, is Billy from Final Destination 1. Um, we really love trains in these movies. Like Thomas is going choo choo a lot of the time. And this one, he doesn't actually die from the train. He dies from a piece of metal that like flies up from the train tracks, and I think it like hits him in the face. A lot of face action in these movies. Um, it's not even the most iconic train death, to be honest. I think those would go to some of Wendy's friends. Um, it made me sad because I liked Billy, but it was another one of just quick like, oh, he's like dead, like let's act shocked kind of moment. It is what it is. Number 31 is Roy. Roy was not originally on Death's list, but he is on mine because he dies in a gruesome way. He is the guy in Final Destination 5 that works in the warehouse that was constantly fighting with Nathan, who was the supervisor. And Roy was annoying as fuck. I think they didn't want to lean into the racist aspect after Final Destination 4, but he was definitely racist. Um, Also funny that his name is Roy and he works in the warehouse because there's also a character exactly like that in the television show The Office. So I'm like, which came first? I think it was Final Destination 5, but it's just really funny that there are so many of these similarities and they work at a freaking paper company. Um, I wish that Roy in the television show The Office had died the way that this Roy did, which is a hook up through the chin. Gnarly, because that dude was annoying. Um, and I didn't like this guy. I was glad that he died. He wasn't supposed to. I mean, he was, but like only a little later. He wasn't supposed to die in this way. I liked the hook. It was another punchline, but it was good. Like nothing to write home about. It was good. Um, okay. Number 30. Okay. I know that there's some three truthers out there. I didn't like Lewis's death scene. Lewis is the one in the gym in three where there's the swords hanging on the wall and you think they're gonna swing down and like cut his head off, but then he ends up actually getting crushed by the weights. Um, I was checked out during this part. I just was ready for the next scene. Like they're trying to do the bait and switch, which they do this a lot. They show you one thing that you think is going to kill a character, then they switch and it's something else. Sometimes that really works, sometimes it really doesn't. Here for me, it didn't. I was bored by like what he could die by in the gym. Like, oh my gosh, like the swords didn't kill him. What's going to kill him? Like, no, we knew he was going to die. I think the gore was okay. Um, the buildup was like okay. It was just so telegraphed. It was not for me. The buildup was not for me. The spectacle, I remember, was all right. I didn't have any attachment to Lewis as a character, especially because he was going on and on about like this isn't true. Like I'm gonna live forever, baby, which kind of annoys me when they do that in most cases. So yeah, I don't really care that he died. Um, Number 29, Stephanie and Charlie from Six from Bloodlines. I ranked them together here. Um, so I don't know how I feel about this ending. I think it's good that they died because I want to have Kimberly retain her crown as the only survivor, but at the same time, like the train, I like that it was the Penny that did it. Penny from the beginning of the movie came back in the end through a contrived series of events, derailed the train. We love that. The train is doing this ridiculous beeline down the street towards them. Instead of running to the side, of course, they run directly, in line with the train, which obviously, if they ran to the side, death would chase them. But we could have at least tried it, y'all. They think they make it. The train does a little boop forward. Some logs come off of the train and crush them. So I would like this honestly better if it weren't for the logs. And I know what I said about the logs earlier. Like, I know what I said. But one thing about me, I don't like it when franchises reheat their own nachos too much. My example for this is in Alien Romulus. So in Alien Romulus, obviously chronologically, that movie happens before the events of Aliens. I think it happens after Alien, but before Aliens. So in Alien Romulus, you have this android character, and he's very like prim and proper, kind of like autistic coded. But ways through the movie, he's protecting his like proxy sister, and he says to the alien, "Get away from her, you bitch."
Get away from her. You bitch.
And I hated that part. I really liked that movie, but I did not like that part because it was just nostalgia farming. That character had no reason to say that line, and the fact that he said it chronologically in the timeline before Ellen Ripley ever said it just pissed me off because, like, that's her line. Okay?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Like, it didn't make sense for him to say it. And that's sort of that same feeling as how I feel about the logs killing Stephanie and Charlie. Like, the logs truck in the beginning, earlier in in Bloodlines was enough. That was enough of a callback. We didn't need the logs at the end because now I'm like, are we just gonna get the logs in every movie? That dims the light of Final Destination 2, and anything that dims the light of Final Destination 2, we cannot have. So that's why this is kind of lower. Number 28 is Julie. I think her name was Julie, Wendy's sister from 3. In the vision on the train, she just gets like slammed by something super quick and turns into a red mist. Um, I normally hate on these deaths, but I like that it was quick because Wendy's reaction is what sells it. Wendy was gagged. Like, obviously, you would be if you saw your sister die, but the fact that it happened so quick is crazy. And also, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is kind of one of the best actors out of all these movies. Like, I love her, which is why I'm repping the wig. So that's why, even though it's a quick one, it's a punchline. I like Julie. I like Julie's death. Um, Number 27 is the Granny Iris. I did remember her name. It's Granny Iris from Bloodlines. She gets impaled through the head by a plank. I like that they set it up earlier with the fire extinguisher knocking the plank out of order. I like the fact that she knows she's about to die because she's been hiding in the cabin for a long ass time. She's like, "Come and get me, death. I am ready." Um, and I really like the blood splattering on Stephanie's face. That is kind of what sells it. Her reaction is what sells it. A lot of times the reaction of other characters, I feel like that folds into the character aspect, is kind of what really gives it its oomph. We had a little bit of build up here, good amount of spectacle. I like the character. Which makes me feel like this should be higher, but I don't know. There's some good ones up at the top. So, and this was also another kind of quick one to move the plot along, which is why it's lower. Um, Number 26 is Kevin from 3. Um, Out of Wendy, Kevin, and Julie, Kevin really ate his death. I mean, you could say the wall ate him in a sense. He like gets pushed through the window and grinded up against the wall and red misted all over that, subway wall. Um, I like it. I like that Wendy watches and she's freaked the fuck out. It's good. We only see a little of it, but he was in the blender. He was getting turned into a smoothie. It is what it is. I like it for what it is. It's quick, but that's what it needs to be. Number 25, and I might get dragged for this one because this is the highest one in the ones that I would call punchline slash forgettable. Um, Carter. My God, Carter. Okay, like, yes, it is like in the context of the movie, it's great because it's our final moment. Oh shit, death is really still coming after us. Clear and Alex look at each other. They're like, "Fuck!" Like Carter just got hit by the sign. Like that's good. The death itself is whatever. The buildup is okay. I know there's some signs. The spectacle of it really isn't there because I don't think we see a ton of him getting like destroyed body wise. It's just the sign swinging, and then them like looking at each other crazy. Um, I mean, this was the original ending, like to a movie. For that reason, like I like it. I don't love it. I don't love it. Okay, I don't. So that is it for the punchline slash forgettable section. Now we are moving into the minor gag section. So I'm tilting the wig back. You can see a little more of my five head. I'm looking a little less like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Um, my wig is starting to lift at these ones. These ones are starting to become memorable, ones that I like, ones that I like lowercase L love. Maybe that's too much. Ones that I capital L like. Okay, these are good. Um, Number 24 is Sam in Flight 180 at the end of Final Destination 5. This one is so much higher than Molly because we see his ass get burned alive. He got fried. He was in there like a blazed pizza. He was getting blazed. He was getting baked. He was getting roasted. Everything. I like the twist. The twist is good. That it's a prequel to the first one. I love that. And oh, I also really like, this is like a sidebar, but I like how they only introduced the like you can kill somebody um thing in Final Destination 5, and that was a later thing. But then the other thing is that the last movie, timeline-wise, before Bloodlines, wow, I can talk. Before Bloodlines that Tony Todd appeared in was Final Destination 2. Because he appeared in 3 as the voice of the train announcer and the Devil's Flight ride, and he didn't appear in 4. So he was basically absent in the timeline from 2 to 6. Um, so it makes so much sense why nobody else tried the Kimberly strat of having your heart stop and then coming back. Because nobody knew. I just love that because 5 was a prequel, he shows up in 5, but it still makes sense, like, lore-wise, why everybody wouldn't just be, like, spamming the Kimberly strat, and it keeps Kimberly iconic, and I just love that. I just love that, like, whoever thought of making this a prequel was a genius. The fact that you don't see that it's, like, early 2000s shit, like, they do a good job of hiding it. There's little hints, but you don't really get it all the way, and I love that. There's not any really pop culture references in 5, I think, because they knew that would give the game away. I love that, and I know this was a long tangent. I liked watching Stan get fried. I liked it. That's why it's a minor gag, and the wig is a little bit lifted. Uh, Number 23 is Nathan, also from Final Destination 5. He actually dies right after Sam. He's the final kill of the movie. If you remember, he killed Roy with the hook, which gave him a little more time. Turned out Roy had some messed up stuff going on in his body. He was about to die anyway. Nathan gets crushed by Flight 180's landing gear. One of the better comedy deaths. I love the shocked look on his face when he realizes, oh my God, I didn't actually buy myself time. And then he gets crushed, but his arm like flies out towards the screen. Death comes at you in 3D. It really ate 4 up. Okay, like I'm sorry. 4 just sucks ass. Let me say that again. I'm just gonna repeat that again and again. I like that his arm flew out. This was a good death, good way to end the movie. It was good. Okay, number 22. I'm gonna drag this one a lot, but I do actually like parts of it. And I can't remember her name. It's the mom of the two kids who she puts the tampons in their ears in the vision. In Final Destination 4. Again, for success. The hair salon concept could have been good. It really could have been good. There's so many ways you could die in a hair salon. I think they do something with the curling iron. Obviously, the thing I like the best about it is the chair that's like going up and down. Like, like the chair going up and down was good, okay? Like, because you're like, oh shit, is the lady gonna like cut her ear off? You don't know. I did like that part of it. I like that part of it. Um, However, she doesn't die in the hair salon. She walks outside, and the rock that one of her kids threw earlier, gets run over by a lawnmower and like shoots at her face, goes through her face. Oh, she's dead. This is one where the build-up eight spectacle wasn't there for me. The build-up, it felt like I was getting edged for like 5 minutes, and then I didn't get there. I know, I'm sorry, that's crude, but like it was subpar. We needed more. We needed a hair salon death. She doesn't die because she's in the hair salon. The hair salon is just like tangential to it. Um, this would have been way higher if she died in the hair salon, but she didn't. She died from the rock. I like the build up though. The build up is why it's a minor gag, and the wig is a little bit lifted. Number 21 is also from 4. It's the mechanic guy. Similar deal, about this one actually didn't have as good build up as the hair salon, but I liked the spectacle better of him getting cut up by the fence. They were really working that 3D hard. Death comes at you in 3D. Um, I don't know. It's whatever. Like he almost gets crushed by the van before, then the fire extinguisher pushes him back into the fence. There's like diamonds cut out of him, which I thought was kind of cool. One of his flesh chunks falls out, and you see the other mechanics running up, like, "Are you okay?" I don't think he's okay. He's gonna need some ibuprofen or something. I like this one mainly just because of the fence. I like that part of it. Um, he chewed on Rory's nachos a little bit from Final Destination 2, and I'm gonna get to that. Wasn't as good of a fence death as Rory, but I liked it. Number 20 is Kat, who was in Final Destination 2. Um, her airbag moment. This one actually pissed me off, but I liked it. Like, if it pissed me off and I didn't like it, it would have been a hell of a lot lower. It pissed me off and I liked it because I liked her as a character, but the way she went out was funny and it was good. So she's stuck in the car because the seatbelt gets stuck, which I think also happens in Bloodlines to Stephanie. Um, Maybe we just shouldn't put our seatbelts on. That would probably make it easier for death to kill us. Okay, seatbelts are on. Her seatbelt gets stuck. She's stuck in the car. The like, I don't know if it's like PVC pipe, some kind of pipe impales the back of the seat, almost kills her, but it doesn't. So she's in there. They got the fire people got the jaws of life. They're about to get her out. She's talking to the fireman. She's like, does that thing have a quiet setting? Talking about the big ass drill that he has. He's like, oh yeah, it does. I'll turn it on. Just fucking with her. Which, first of all, she almost just died. You could be polite. Like, you could really be polite. I thought you were supposed to be a first responder and be polite to people, but I guess nobody cares. Call me cornbread from Sinners because I thought that's that this is about. Like, let's be kind to one another. I guess he didn't want to be kind. Um, yeah, and then they fuck with the jaws of life. Airbag goes off back into the back into the seat. She gets crushed through the head with the pipe. It was good. It just pissed me off that the fire person was like mean to her. Um, don't talk down to mother. She's like a minor mother. She's like a stepmother. I would say she's stepmother. I enjoyed her. Number 19, another ending gag, the farm kid from 2. Um, I forgot about this originally and had to like add it into the list in my second draft of the list. He wasn't originally in a vision. He's a random who got saved by Rory, I think, from getting hit by a van. And that's why he dies later because he was supposed to die, which kind of raises the question of like, if they were only supposed to die because somebody else didn't die and that somebody else was on death's list, wouldn't they not be on death's list because they wouldn't have died if not for the other people not dying? This is getting really convoluted. I liked when the girl blew up and killed him. His arm like lands on the plate in front of Kimberly, which is funny. I also like that this didn't tip Kimberly's crown. I feel like I like the fact that we weren't in doubt that she was gonna live. It's just like the final gag of the movie. That's all it is. Like Kimberly is safe, and that is what matters. I like that the girl blew up. Also weird that Kimberly and the cop went back to this farm where they crashed the car. I was like, they're not friends with these people. This is just the random ass farm where they crashed their car and a bunch of people died. But I guess this is like the place they want to go back to for a happy barbecue. I mean, I hope the food was good. What food they ate before the kid exploded, because I'm assuming they weren't going in on the corn on the cob and the ribs after the explosion. Number 18, I could see myself getting dragged for this. But the issue was just that there's no build up. The spectacle is good. There's no build up. Oh, okay, there is. There's the vision. Okay. Terry from one. The bus, yes, it's iconic. To me, the bus is quick. It's a comedy moment. We see it in the window, and it is like a sign. I know that that is kind of build up. It's not intricate. We didn't know Terry super well. This is one of the cases where she's saying like, I can't be afraid the rest of my life, and she dies, and I actually like that. I didn't like it when Lewis was doing it. I kind of liked it when Terry was doing it. I think maybe we knew Terry a little better as a character. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. Um, yeah, the bus is iconic. I mean, people know this one. I don't think it's the best one ever. People know it. And it's funny. I like the reactions to it. Number 17, another potentially controversial one. I don't know if anybody really rides for this scene, but it is like the OG death scene outside of the visions. It's Todd in the bathtub from Final Destination 1. Um, I think it's funny that Death kind of shows up in the mirror, the like fog or whatever, because he never does that again. He also never does the thing again where he like the water recedes from the toilet that had leaked out that makes Todd slip, I believe. It like goes back into the toilet, which just would not happen. Normally, he doesn't try to cover his tracks like that. So it made me wonder if he just really like specifically hated Todd. I think that would be funny. The death scene itself was okay. I mean, there was an okay amount of buildup. He falls in the bathtub. It's soapy. He can't get out. Oh no, my neck is like getting strangled. My one thing was like, even if it is soapy, can't you kind of like spider monkey put your arms up on the sides and like do something? I know you're panicking, but I think he could have made that out. I know that they can't save themselves, but I feel like he could have made it out of that. Um, so yeah, that's number 17. Again, good. It's good. I know I just criticized a lot. It's a good scene. Number 16 is Rory from Final Destination 2. Oh, my boo, my man, one of my many men of the Final Destination series. He is very pretty. I like him. I know he's like messed up because, he was, I don't know, was he doing coke in the car at the beginning? He was doing something bad. He might not be a good guy, but he is my guy because he is cute. And I think it's really cute that he told Kimberly right before he died, like, can you hide my porn and my drugs from my mom if I die? That's sweet. And I hope she did do that for him, because we want to keep mom's image intact. Um, yeah, he gets like trisected, I think, by the barbed wire fence. I like that. This is the kind of better fence death than the mechanic. This one is quick. I don't think there's a lot of build up if I remember correctly, but the spectacle is so good that that's why it's higher up. And I like Rory as a character, but I wasn't like devastated to see him die. So I think this is kind of the perfect blend of like spectacle and character. Again, not build up, but the spectacle was good enough. Y'all get the idea. And I mean, at least I got to see Rory's insides one way. Wow, that made me sound again like a serial killer. Let's continue. Number 15 is Frankie from the third one. Frankie's kind of an asshole, if I remember correctly. He does the whole like show me your titties thing with the video camera on the roller coaster. I saw a GIF of this, like him dead in the car, go viral on Twitter. Obviously, what happens is like Wendy and I think Kevin are in the drive-through, and uh there's like a truck behind them. They're about to get crushed. Somehow, I should have watched this before I did this video. Frankie gets like a big ass blade through his head. It's sick. It's like a good visual. Um, and I mean, I feel like we could have gotten a better drive-through concept, but I still liked it. I think the spectacle of it was what made it so good. And there was build-up. The one thing about the scene is you don't know that it's Frankie in the car in front of them, so it is kind of like a surprise when he dies. So I like that little bit of bait and switch to it because rather than a bait and switch to how he died, how a character dies, we're getting a bait and switch as to who. So I like that. Um, Number 14, this is the top of the minor gag section. So like we're moving into like true gag territory. The wig is starting to struggle to hold on. The winds of death are picking up. We're getting there. This is the top one. And this one I'd say is, and I think her name is Julia. I could be wrong, so I might just call her oldest sister. The oldest sister from Bloodlines, from Final Destination 6, the dump truck. So I love this whole scene, especially because they do again the bait and switch with who dies because you think it's going to be Eric and then it's her. The build up when Eric, Charlie, and Stephanie are walking along the street, Stephanie correctly calls out, "Oh, the leaf blower is going to fall over, or sorry, the tree trimmer will fall over," hit the guy with the leaf blower. He's gonna blow the leaves into the soccer ball kids, and they'll kick it into your face. And then he's like, "Well, how will that kill me?" And then obviously it did kill the oldest sister because the ball went into her face. She fell over into the freaking trash can. Dumpster picks the trash can up. Oh, and she's in the dump truck getting crushed like it's Toy Story 3. Yeah. Like that was just a good ass sequence of events. Like you cannot deny that. This is the comedy shit that I love. Um, and then they have to chase the dump truck driver down. His ass is up there with these big ass headphones on, like AirPod Pro Maxes or whatever the hell they're called. And he's swiping through Tinder, swiping yes on all the freaking girls. I'm like, not only are you got the headphones on, you're on your phone while you're driving, so death kind of should have come for you too. So obviously they're not able to save what's her name, and she gets crushed in the dump truck. Just a good ass scene. I love the Rube Goldberg, like how is it gonna happen shit. It's good. It's freaking good. Um, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Oh, you can see some of my real hair. We're really getting there, you guys. The wig is getting close to coming off. Like we are starting to GAG. Yeah, okay, so number 13 is Aaron from Final Destination 3. First of all, girl, you deserve better than Ian because I liked you and Ian was annoying as hell. You got a way better death than him though. So I love the hardware store, like Lowe's concept because there's so many ways you could die in a hardware store. If I remember correctly, the build up for the scene was really good. I actually forgot to write notes for this death. It was like the one that I didn't write notes for, but I remember pretty well. Something falls, I think, on them, and then you think they're gonna get crushed, but I think Ian gets saved, so he gets skipped, and then Aaron gets like, plastered through with the nails. They had her like Jesus, only if Jesus was crucified through his face, which thank God he wasn't, because he was very, very pretty, and we would not have wanted to mess with that gorgeous face. Mess with hers though, and she also had a pretty face. I hope that they gave her a closed casket funeral. I actually hope that for many of the people on this list, like I would not want to go to a funeral and look inside and see Rory's ass cut in three. Um, Hopefully they cremated him. I like the nail gun death. It's a good death. I like the hardware store concept. Honestly, I know they're probably not going to do it again because like we already did that, but there's more stuff they could do with that if they ever wanted to. Why does this look like my natural hair? And why do I look like Lord Farquaad? Oh my God, the wig is falling. It is not time for that yet. Okay, we're gonna keep it like about there. We're gonna keep it there. Number 12 is the dad from Final Destination 6. Oh, oh, okay, okay. It's still kind of on. It's still on a little bit. Number 6 is number 6. Number 12 is the dad from Final Destination 6. This scene was all over the trailers. Like that's how you know. Like this was the scene that was going viral on Twitter because the glass breaks and falls in all the ice. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, like new fear unlocked." And it really was like a new fear unlocked. I like how they do the bait and switch in this one. The build up for this one is impeccable. Honestly, build up wise, I would say this is probably top five, somewhere in the top five. Um, Maybe that's too much. It's definitely a little higher if we're just considering the build up because you have the broken glass in the cup, you have the rake under the trampoline, which you think they're gonna hit. The beer bottle falls over and turns on. I forget some kind of lawn equipment. Maybe that was the lawnmower. That's how it got turned on. You have like the Jenga blocks. You have the grill. Yeah, because Eric was messing with the grill. The grill like went flambe. So you just didn't know who was gonna die and how. And it was so good. I loved it. The only reason why this isn't higher is because the actual like spectacle of the death was a little low. He steps on the shard of glass that fell out of the cup, falls back, lawnmower kind of motorboats his face, and he's gone. I did think it was really funny that they just cut to his funeral because they just came from a funeral at this barbecue. So I said to my friend who I saw the movie with, like, what if the whole movie was just like, them cutting to funerals? Obviously it wasn't. Um, but I like the cut, the death itself, the lawnmower. Obviously, we did another lawnmower death in Final Destination 4, and it's like, why are we treading any ground from 4? But the rest of it was so good. Like, it was really good. Number 11 is Tim from Final Destination 2. Y'all probably remember this as the dentist scene, although he doesn't die in the dentist's office. He dies after when glass crushes him. But I love the build up within the dentist's office because he almost dies. He chokes on that. I can't. It's like a fish. Is it a fish? I think it's a fish. There's like an electrical moment going on. We love an electrocution potential. That's something that happens a lot in these movies. Um, this was low key the proto Olivia scene, and I'm gonna get to her from five. Not to spoil anything, but like him being like kind of in the chair, like he can't really, he's in a medical office. It was a little bit of that. Um, I like that he gets crushed by the pane of glass in public. I like when they die in public. I know that makes me sound weird. I like when the other characters are able to react to it. Like I feel like that gives it more oomph as opposed to like a Todd situation. Todd is just sad. Like, Todd just died alone with nobody to help him. And I do like some where they die alone, but I like that Tim, also the fact that his mom watches him die is sick. I don't know how she kept going because I would have just collapsed to the ground and they would have had to pry me off of it. Honestly, I would have just laid there so long I starved, and that's how death would take me because, like, watching your kid get turned into, pate or whatever you want to call it, awful. Um, and I know this is a crushing death, but all the buildup in the dentist's office makes me rank it higher. It's good. Okay, oh shit. So we're not actually into major gag territory yet for a little bit. We're in like gag territory. These gags aren't like insane. No, they are kind of insane. They're not like insane in the membrane, I'll say that. But we are in the top 10. And yeah, number 10 is The Racist from Final Destination 4. Wow, this is a good ass death. Honestly, I'm thinking about the other four deaths that I have yet to mention, and I kind of want to switch them, but it's cool. We're gonna leave this at 10. I think it's really funny. On Letterboxd, he's just listed as racist. The wiki does say he has a name, but he's just listed as racist, and this is this actor's like biggest role. I kind of love that his biggest role was just racist. Um, I think it's cute because this actor showed up at the Bloodlines premiere, and why is he not that ugly? I'm not saying he's hot, like I'm not crazy, but I think it's kind of cute that his acting career flopped because I can relate. Like I like it when actors are flops because then I'm like, wait, you're really just like me. So I appreciate that about him. Obviously we hate the character. For some reason he dropped the N-word, which is like, who wrote that in this movie? Why was this necessary? I think Final Destination 4 wanted to be edgy. There was like, I think a sex scene in it too. We wanted to be like the Millennium edgy, and it just wasn't. Like it was like, why are we doing this? This doesn't feel right. But obviously you do hate him because he's about to do this racist ass shit. I think he was gonna burn a cross on George's lawn, and we love George. Um, but but really the reason why this scene is so high is the needle drop. The radio starts playing Why Can't We Be Friends as the tow truck starts rolling down the hill. He gets attached to the chain. I think gas is glugging out of the tow truck, and then the sparks from the chain on the pavement ignite the gas, setting him aflame as he is dragged across the pavement. So it's like you were going to burn a cross, and now you're the cross that's getting burned. And we love that. But the music is the real gag because as all this is happening, and I love needle drops. When they do a needle drop well, it's really good. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? And he's just burning. Oh, it's really good. This was like honestly a good enough death, minus the fact that he said the N-word. Like this death could have been in another movie, and like this character could have been in another movie, and it would have ate. It just sucks that it had to be in Final Destination 4 because Final Destination 4, say it with me now, sucks ass. At number 9 is Nora, Tim's mother from Final Destination 2. This was a cute moment. she served Tatum from Scream in the garage door. Uh, Rip Tatum, that was my girl. Uh, because I'm sorry, I love this scene. It's so good. The build up to it is amazing because we get the foreshadowing. I think like a man with a hook is gonna kill you. The other characters figure that out. She's in the elevator with oh, what was his name? Oh my gosh, the motorcyclist from two. Eugene, yeah, yeah, it was Eugene. Um, she's in the elevator with Eugene, and this random ass old man with a wire box that has mannequin arms in it with hooks on them, which I have so many questions. The old man is also a pervert and like is like smelling her hair. But her braid gets snagged on one of the hook arms, and then she like tries to get away. Her hair is tangled. Her head goes between the elevator doors. And, obviously we know what happens next. It's kind of the same thing that happens to the maitre d' and the Vision in Bloodlines. Uh, uh, but it was just good. She was wearing this white sweater. I was sad because if I died in that white sweater, I would, probably want to die again. That was a nice ass sweater, and she ruined it with all that blood. It's really hard to get blood out of fabric. Um, her decapitated head still being in the elevator, and Eugene and the old man just screaming and staring at it, haunting. Um, I feel bad for her too. I liked her character. So I think there wasn't massive build up for this, but there was like enough build up that it was good. The spectacle was great, and I liked the character aspect of it. Number eight. Oh, wow. Okay. This is the highest scene from Final Destination 1. Final Destination 1 was the OG, but it wasn't like they weren't out there yet. This one was the most out there, and it's Miss Luton, the teacher. And I will say this is iconic because it's like a house death. I like it when they die in their houses and it's not some contrived shit. Trust me, I like the contrived shit probably even more, but I respect it when they just die in their house because then we have to get to like how are they gonna die in their house. I think Bobby even says there's like so many ways you could die in your house, and I like it when they, expand on that. Um, this kind of set the tone for like what a crazy death scene could be. I feel like this was like the Neanderthal ancestor of Evan's scene in Final Destination 2. Um, we have the crack in her mug, the shorted out computer. I know John Denver is like playing in the background too, which I love that that's the song that shows up throughout the first movie. Um, then the fire starts, she gets covered in blood, and oh God, oh God, she's like covered in blood, and she reaches up for the towel on the knife block. Oh, and the knife doesn't hit her head, but it comes down all over her chest like this. She was not looking good. And then oh God, the fact that Alex runs in like while she's dead, his dumbass picks up the knife. He was really slow. Like I love Alex, but in some ways he was slow. But I just like this scene because it is very much like the cause and effect. We have lots of build up. The spectacle, it's not like the biggest death. I mean, she just gets stabbed a bunch of times, but for Final Destination 1, it is the biggest death, and the spectacle is there. The character, I felt bad for her ass. Imagine you're getting underpaid as a teacher. You're taking these punk ass kids to Paris. Next thing you know, you're looking like a shish kebab. Like I would be pissed too. Um, yeah, I feel bad for her. She deserved better, but she got a good ass death, so respect. Number seven is Isaac, aka the pervert from Final Destination 5. Um, this one is like in a series of what I would call the business deaths, which I feel like fits into like dentist, hair salon. He's at the massage parlor. It's like they're at a place, somebody leaves them in a room, some shit goes wrong. I guess that didn't happen at the hair salon. You know what I'm saying? It happens with Olivia in 5 too. They were really eating on this concept in 5. Okay, yeah, so Isaac is in the massage parlor. He's really racist and weird to the employees. He like hits on the girl at the desk constantly, and then she's like, okay, I'll find somebody who can help you, and then sends this much older woman in there. So Isaac is pissed because, oh, I wanted a happy ending massage. I really did not like his character. He kind of felt like he escaped from 4. That was like the vibes he was giving to me. I know we're not supposed to like him, but I was like, do we really need this dude? I guess they always got to have one person you have to root for to die, but like, I don't know. Um, I like the way he died though. The acupuncture was T. He's stabbed through with the needles. He was kind of giving Miss Luton a little bit. He falls over on the needles. The fire starts. Yeah, when I'm thinking about this, this is very Miss Luton. And then he is crushed by the Buddha statue, which he made fun of the Buddha statue and called him fat when he walked in the room. So that's karma for you. Karma's a bitch. Karma is my boyfriend. Whatever you want to say. Karma was coming for Isaac. Um, I like that he suffered. He deserved that. And if I was writing it, I would have made him suffer more. But this scene is still good. It's not as iconic as some of the other scenes in five, and I don't think this is one that people use to TikTok farm, which was like kind of my secret fifth metric of how good a death scene is. If people are using it to farm views on TikTok, like it's good. I haven't really seen this one. I don't have TikTok, but I haven't seen this one go viral as frequently as some of the other ones. But it's a good scene. I like it. Number six, and we are Wig is holding on for dear life. Just call that Wig Wendy in the premonition scene. Oh my goodness. Uh, yeah. Number six is from four. It's Hunt. Hunt was annoying as shit. He was probably the most annoying character in four. But at least he was a character, which you can't say for everybody in four. Uh, I'm glad he died in a horrible way. He got his ass like sucked by the pool drain. He's drowning, and then the drain is like sucking his ass out. Which was really fitting, for an aggressively straight guy. Like, you're gonna die through ass play. His guts like go up through the pipe. There was a moment right before this where like he's making fun of this kid. He like the kid squirts him with a water gun, kind of giving the annoying kid in Bloodlines. But then Hunt takes the gun and like throws it back, which turns on the drain. I think when he throws the gun back, it falls and turns the drain on. So I was like, wait, wouldn't it be good if the kid like saw him drowning and didn't help him? That doesn't happen. Just my little rewrite. I also like that this is happening concurrently with the car wash scene. The car wash scene would have been way up here if she had actually died and it was eligible for a spot on the list. Um, like definitely it's an honorable mention, which maybe I'll get to some more of those in a minute here. The car wash scene was good, and I like that it was mixed in with this. I know it doesn't actually affect Hunt's death, but it feels like it was kind of connected. I mean, the water motif, I don't know. I like that his ass got sucked out. It's gruesome, but it's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna do some honorable mentions. Okay. So definitely the car wash scene. We're not into major extreme insane in the membrane territory of gags yet, but we're like right about to hit that. These are just some stuff in the interim that would not fit on the list. So my honorable mentions, car wash scene. I love that she almost drowns in the car. There's just something terrifying about a car wash, like the mechanical nature of it. It's creepy. Um, Also in four, the escalator kill and the vision that he has, she doesn't actually die in this way. But I really like that she gets grinded in the escalator. I love a good grinding. That one part in the video game Until Dawn, where if you make the wrong choices, you can get the Emily character ground up in the like log grinder or whatever. I love that path. I never will take it because Emily is the best character in that game and I will die on that hill. Um, but it's just great. I love a good grind. Okay. And what was her name? Was her name Lori? I think her name was maybe it was Lori or it was the other one. She was on that grind in the escalator. Um, yeah, I think the last honorable mention would be Eric's like faux death scene in six. Obviously he wasn't on the list at this point, but they really built him up to die in the tattoo parlor. And I thought it was really good. His nose ring gets attached to the chain on the ceiling fan. He's like almost getting hung. I think there's, some broken glass action. There's a fire that breaks out. There's always a fire. Like fire. It's reliable. Good old fire. Um, it was good, and it would probably be pretty high up if he had actually died. But he hasn't shown up on the list yet, so there's a little sneak preview. Okay, now you can see my actual. Okay, yeah, we're gonna. Wow. Okay, you can see my actual hair now. You know, I do. I know people tell me I look so much like Wendy. The wig is off. The wig has made liftoff. we are at the top five, and these are the ones that are like so good. I want to watch them again and again. People should use them to TikTok farm views because they are good as hell. Shout out to Lizzo. Like these ones are good. Okay, and number five is Evan from Final Destination 2. If I won the lottery and died like right after, I would probably kill myself. I know that doesn't make sense, but you just have to like hear me out. Um, Yeah, because he was buying all this expensive stuff, had this expensive car. I think he brought like a Mac computer home. But let's get to the death scene. I'm sorry. The buildup was impeccable. He almost trips on the toy in like the hallway of the apartment. I love that. Um, I also really like just everything about this scene. He gets his hand stuck in the garbage disposal, which is like an actual fear of mine. Whenever I have to like do anything near the sink, that I think is probably what's affected me the most is like in my life is the garbage disposal. Um, I'm scared of it. He was a dumbass for putting his hand in there because he gets it's stuck in there. At the same time, what he was cooking on the stove starts on fire. A magnet fell into his takeout that he was microwaving, so I think the microwave also starts on fire, or maybe the stove isn't on fire. Something's on fire. It's a Final Destination movie. Um, and he's got his ass stuck in there. So you're like, is it going to be the garbage disposal cutting his hand off? Is it going to be fire? And it's none of that because earlier in the scene, he throws the fucking spaghetti out the window, which, dude, don't you have a trash can? Like, I know you're supposed to not be like a nice character, but like, I swear the trash can would have been closer. Well, he throws his old spaghetti out the window and it's on the floor of the alleyway. So when he climbs out the window and escapes the fire, you know, word to him for even managing to escape it. He climbs on the ladder's stuck, he jolts it down, and he slips on the spaghetti. Karma is a bitch. Karma is my new boyfriend. That's why you don't litter. Okay, do not litter on Mother Green Earth. He slips, the ladder's above him. It falls. Oh, it stops. Wait, I'm gonna be okay. And it goes right through his eyes and his skull. And I think they reference this one in the credits for Final Destination 4. Again, the movie sucks ass, but they knew what was good about the old movies because they referenced this death in there. And this is a really good death. The build-up is, I already said it, it's impeccable. The spectacle of the ladder going through the eyes is good to me. Character-wise, I feel like this kind of ties into what we know of Evan. I mean, the fact that he has this shitty apartment and he is kind of inconsiderate of others. He doesn't believe them when they tell him that he's going to die. He's throwing the spaghetti out the window. He doesn't care about other people. And that's why he got a ladder through his eyes. But he had a good ass death, and I respect him for that. Is that the highest one I have of two on here? I think that might be the highest. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, congrats, Evan. You are the GOAT of Final Destination 2. Just kidding. Kimberly exists. You had the best death scene though. Kimberly will never die, so she's not going to be on this list. Number four, Olivia. My mother, my queen, my sister, my aunt, my female relation in all ways. This scene is one that I have seen used to TikTok farm. It's the eye surgery scene. My girl has glasses. She was going in to get some LASIK, which didn't even know that was a thing in like 2000, but I guess it was. And also apparently they had James Bond lasers strong enough to like, totally mess your face up. Um, I think we get a little electrocution like tease because there's something with the water cooler, perhaps. I should have rewatched the scene before. But the real highlight of the scene is the laser going through her eyes. She's like this. God, what is that one movie where they like pry their eyes open? Ooh, I'm showing myself as a fake film fan. Y'all know what I'm talking about when they do this to him. Um, it's like that, and the laser's going across her eye. She's freaking the hell out. She has a teddy bear in her arms for some reason. She's a grown woman, mind you. The doctor was kind of giving pervert, like, let me give you a teddy bear like you're a little girl. Um, I like that. I thought it was funny. Uh, and the eye stuff is just gross to me. I don't like stuff with eyes, so that's part of why this is so good to me. Um, minus like 1 point for her falling out the window. But everything else is so freaking good that I don't care. And I love Olivia. Her character is part of the reason why she is so high on this list. Um, this is a case of like, if they had given Clear a death like this, like I would have been able to get behind it. I don't even mean like an eye surgery death. I just mean a death that was like this memorable and iconic. I would have been like, okay, like Clear went out and we're gonna remember her, for being iconic. But they didn't give her that. They gave her that whack ass explosion. Um, Olivia, on the other hand, was funny. I love that she laughed at the funeral earlier in the movie because, like, mood, I cannot be serious during serious moments. Um, yeah, and she had a good ass death scene, so that's why she's number 4. Um, number 3. Number 3. Yeah, so if you guys are keeping track of like what's on the list at this point, I feel like I'm definitely getting dragged because the recency bias allegations are gonna kick my ass. Yeah, the MRI scene in Final Destination Bloodlines. Let's talk about it. I put Eric and Bobby together for this ranking, which could be kind of controversial. I probably should have them separate since they don't die in the exact same way. Um, but I just saw the movie last night and it made sense for me to put them together, and it's my list, and I'll cry when I want to. So there's just so many funny things about this scene. The fact that the MRI is like Magneto and is able to like in other rooms, I don't know a lot about MRI machines, but in other rooms this machine was like pulling metal towards it, which if this is possible, like I really hope a terrorist doesn't get a hold of this and use it because it seems like it could be very dangerous. Um Wow. I love that. I like the scene that Eric and Bobby have right before this, the brother bonding scene. I'm sorry, I should give context because, this is a new movie that's not out on demand. Um, so Bobby and Eric are brothers. They're in the room. They're trying to cheat death by pulling a Kimberly. Bobby has a peanut allergy, so Eric and Bobby buy a Reese's peanut butter cup from the vending machine, try to stop Bobby's heart, and then wheel him out to get him help since they're in the hospital. If they're able to restart his heart, then they will create new life and death will have been defeated. So when they're buying the peanut butter cup from the vending machine, it gets stuck, and then Eric's dumbass is like shaking it, which I'm like, Eric, don't do that. You are so pretty but so stupid. Sidebar, I love Eric. I think he's really hot, and I need him. Okay, back to the point of what I was saying. They managed to get the peanut butter cup dislodged, but the spring like comes out and cracks the glass. Which, first of all, y'all should have seen that was a sign. I think Stephanie would have realized that it was a sign, but you ran away from her, so she couldn't help you. They go into a room like across the hall from the vending machine that has an MRI in it. Eric gets a wheelchair, puts Bobby in it, is like, eat the peanut butter cup, and we're gonna wheel you out there and create new life and defeat death. First of all, Bobby ate like a sliver of the peanut butter cup. I'm like, you haven't been able to eat peanuts your whole life, and you even made a point of saying, I want the peanut butter cup instead of the unsalted peanuts, and you're gonna eat a tiny sliver. Eat the whole fucking cup. You're never gonna get this chance again, dude. And he's like, it tastes good, and he didn't take another bite. Like, still would have killed you if you ate more. I mean, maybe it would kill him quicker or like worse. I don't really know how that works with peanut allergies. It kind of seemed like any amount would kill him. So just eat the whole thing. Um, yeah, sorry, but the MRI like turns on somehow, starts sucking all the metal towards it, and it's really funny because Eric has all these piercings. Oh my God. So his nose is like getting pulled towards it. His ears, I think his earrings come out and fly into the machine. Um, we see like his shirt come out because he has nipple piercings, and this was like the funniest thing is we get a little moment where like his pants tent because he has a dick piercing, and that was knowledge I needed to know. I will not be writing fanfic of this movie because there's nobody to ship him with, but I will rest easy in knowing the knowledge that my man has a dick piercing, and he is kind of my like capital M man of this franchise. Maybe it's recency bias. I found him super duper 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 hot, and my friend who I went with to the movie made fun of me for it, but it's cool. He flies into the MRI, dick first. The wheelchair goes in behind him, crushes him. He gets basically turned into like a U shape of his dick is getting pushed forward into the machine and his limbs are getting pushed backward like this. It's amazing. Meanwhile, Bobby is on the floor, like having a freaking allergic seizure because he still ate the peanut butter cup. I will say it was so real of him that he managed to get across the floor to the EpiPen. He stabbed himself. He would have been safe. Well, for a time, perhaps. Because he wouldn't have actually seen death officially. But the nurse hears this stuff, the metal flying around, opens the door. and the spring from the vending machine from earlier comes straight across and impales Bobby through the head. And the nurse screams, and that's it. And this one was just so good. This was the standout of Bloodlines, the best scene. I could see people saying it was the barbecue. The issue was the barbecue for me was all build up and no spectacle. This had amazing build up, amazing spectacle, and I really liked the character moments within it. I was sad to see both Eric and Bobby go, but they had a good ass death. They went out in a good way that's memorable, and hopefully will be used as a way to farm views on TikTok for future generations. That's all we can hope for from a scene from these movies, okay? Like we hope that it will be loved by the TikTok algorithm. I definitely loved it. So, oh God. Okay, top two. Okay, so in the document I'm looking at, I actually have these ranked differently, but as I was driving home to come make this video, I realized that I was actually going to switch my ranking for the top two. Um, if you guys know like the best scenes of the franchise, you probably should know what are the two that I haven't mentioned. I'm not going to go into both of them. I will say that this number two that I'm going to mention now was initially number one, but I moved it down because number one is just so epic good. Number two is Candace from Final Destination 5, the gymnastics scene. Uh, she was trying out for Team USA. She was hoping to be Simone Biles and Shawn Johnson. In the end, she became roadkill. I liked Candace. I liked that she made Peter go crazy, even though I didn't like that Peter was killing people or trying to kill people. But this scene, oh my goodness, this scene is like the TikTok farming. This is what you'll get a million views off this if you post this clip because it's a good ass clip. So Peter's in the stands watching her do gymnastics, and she starts off on the beam. There's a little screw on the beam. She almost steps on it like 5 times. This tense ass music is in the background. She's doing all these flips. You're like, oh my God, she's gonna step on that screw. She gets off the beam. She doesn't freaking step on the screw. You're like, okay. Then she gets onto the uneven bars, which have always seemed like a death trap to me. And these ones were even worse because they were creaking everywhere. I'm like, nobody hears that. Nobody's like, we need some WD-40 or maybe a new set of uneven bars. Turned out that wasn't what killed her, but they were creaking loud as hell. Um, she's swinging, swinging, and swinging. She's swinging like she's freaking Curious George. And obviously, the other girl gets on the beam, steps on the screw, falls, like knocks over all the powder, which they use for their hands, I think, flies into the fan, which is in there because the AC wasn't working. It's a whole thing that's set up. I think that they also, oh God, I totally forgot. You almost think she's going to die because there's a frayed cord, and you think that the water on the floor is going to be electrified and she's going to step in it, but she barely misses it. She like drops a puddle on it, or drops a towel on it, and like escapes that death. She cheats death, I swear to God, like 4 or 5 times in this one scene alone. Well, not cheats it, but she almost dies, 4 or 5 times. And this is another case of me feeling like I was getting edged. Like I was like, when is she gonna die? Um, and for me, the build up and the spectacle was there because obviously what happens is the powder blows into the fan, blows into her face. She does a big old flip on the bars, and when she comes down, she kind of turns into the same U shape that Eric was in. Her bones are sticking out. She's dead.
Don't touch her.
Someone call 911!
Like she died on impact. Like honestly, I don't know how you mess up a flip that bad. Clearly, it's possible. Um, but wow. It was not looking good for her. And then her coach is running over talking about Candace, Candace. Um, Candace is gone. Like, send the regards to Phineas and Ferb because Candace is dead. The fact that they were yelling for her like she was gonna like walk that off is really funny. I like that Peter was watching because I love when loved ones see their loved ones die in these movies. It just makes it better, the angst of it. Yeah, this one is just so good. And I bet you can see why I initially ranked it number one. I don't think a lot of people would argue with me saying it's the best one, although I know there's some like truthers out there that don't like five because, oh, you know, one and two and three are the best ones. But like, let's be real, five is good as hell. Um, but yeah, this scene, I changed my mind. It's not the best one because the best death scene in the Final Destination franchise is the tanning bed scene. And this is another like big TikTok farming views clip. There's so much about this that I love. The buildup is the best. You have the soda. She's not supposed to bring the soda into the room. She does. You have the dude who's working at the tanning salon who goes outside on the phone call. He sticks the tube of lotion in the door. The tube of lotion runs out and closes, so he can't get back in to save them. Um, but oh my gosh, the real reason why I decided to move this above Candace's death in five is because of the song. Like, they have this funny moment where they're like, oh, like what should we listen to? They have to use a CD player for some reason. I forget. It's like they forgot their iPod or something. So 2000s. And they're like, oh, ew, Britney, which is really funny that they know this roller coaster of love song from the 70s, but they don't like Britney. I don't know. Maybe that was the thing in 2000s. I know she got hated on a lot. But the image and the vibe of their names are Ashley and Ashlyn, which I also love. I love that they're Valley girls, and I love that they're not bitchy Valley girls. They're kind of sweet to Wendy, which I think is cute. The image of them being in the tanning beds, singing this song, "Roller Coaster of Love, Roller Coaster." Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like it's fucking great. And they're vibing. They're having a good ass time. The blue lighting is giving like the first Twilight movie. We are loving it. Um I just love the music. The music is what makes this scene so freaking good. The fact that they were having a little party in there. I love it. And then obviously everything else goes wrong. Um like a board falls, so they get trapped in their two tanning beds. One of them turned the heat up. Another part of the machine on the wall was like going up when it wasn't supposed to. So they fry in there like a couple of sausages. And the visual of them frying is horrific. It's awful. They're washed out in blue, but you can see that they're covered in these burns. They're screaming. Um, they're not on the roller coaster of love anymore. They're on the highway to hell. Also, really funny that they were singing along to a song called Roller Coaster of Love right after they almost died in a tragic roller coaster accident. I get that that was why they chose the song, but just like within the movie, it's like okay, like I survived 9/11. Now I'm going to go listen to some MCR because they were inspired by 9/11. That analogy doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's funny as hell. It's like you almost die in a freaking plane crash, and then you start listening to Ironic by Alanis Morissette when she's talking about it was so ironic he died in a plane crash. I don't know. It is ironic that they were listening to that song, and that's why it's so effing funny. And I love it. Roller coaster of love, bitch. Um, yeah, this is just so good. I'm trying to think of like my final thoughts on this. Oh, okay. The other major gag of this scene is that like we're looking at the top of the two tanning beds as they burn, and then it just flips to their two coffins next to each other, which is so cute. They had a joint funeral. I don't think they were sisters. I thought they were just friends. Maybe they were sisters. I thought they were just friends. So it would be really cute if they had like a joint funeral as friends, if their parents were like they were besties in life and they will be besties in death. That was just such a good ending to the scene, and this scene is the best one in the franchise. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say.
You know, that's just my opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say.
But I know the right version of what to say. Um, Roller Coaster of Love, like this was beautiful. and that was the best one in the franchise. Um, I did a little like average of where all the death scenes were. So since there was different numbers of death scenes in each of the movies, I looked at my rankings and then I averaged the top six because I think the movie that has the least deaths has six main deaths in it. Um, so as it pertains to how good the deaths were, my ranking from the bottom is Final Destination 1 is at the bottom actually. Makes sense. A lot of boring deaths. I think 4 was next. Um, and then Final Destination Bloodlines actually came in fourth, I believe. Final Destination 3 came in third, 5 came in second, and second came in first. Because we know I love 2 and 5. Like I'm easy, like we know what I like. Um which so that ranking, which is from the bottom it's 1, 4, 6, 3, 5, 2 is different from my ranking of the movies. If we're just talking about the movies, I would say that it goes from the bottom 4, 1, 3, ooh, um, 5 and 6 are really close for me. I think I might need time to let 6 marinate more, and definitely watch it again, which I might do soon. This is really hard, but I think I would put, I think I would put 6 above 5. I think it's more rewatchable and I like the characters a little better. And then obviously 2 is at the top. Um, so I'm gonna close out by saying I love you, Kimberly Coleman. Kimberly is the final girl of the franchise. She has not found her final destination yet. She cheated death and she's the only one to do it. I think it is extremely iconic that she is the only one to do it and that she did it in the second movie. Um, because it would have been lame to me if the characters from the first movie went like lived on and became like the Laurie Strode of the franchise. Like I get that, but it's not as interesting to me. Iris Loki gave Laurie Strode, Iris from Six. But and I guess she did live for a long time, but obviously we just met her recently, so it's not like we saw that. But I wouldn't have liked it if Alex and Cleo lived forever. I didn't want them to live forever. I wasn't pissed at their deaths because I wanted them to live forever. I was pissed at their deaths because they went out sad and they had lame ass deaths. Um, and Kimberly didn't. She cheated death, okay? And that is so fucking iconic because it could have started a trend of always having the characters cheat death. Like I totally could have seen them giving Wendy the out, but they didn't. She's dead. Wendy is dead, you guys. Like give it up. She's dead. And thank God all the characters from 4 are dead. Obviously, everybody from 5 is dead. I was a little sad about Stephanie and Charlie from Bloodlines because they were sweet. And I saw somebody saying, "Oh, it would have been better if they had given Charlie like his own vision at the prom he was going to at the end of the movie rather than killing them." And I was kind of like, that would have been good, but they needed to die. Because if they didn't die, then Kimberly is not the only one who lived. And I know you're like, "Oh, what about the cop from 2?" In my opinion, he died at some point because I don't know how it works. Why should he get to live because Kimberly cheated death? Like his heart needs to stop too. He needs to put in the work. Um, we love Kimberly out here. Kimberly stands unite. Yeah. And if they bring her back for Final Destination 7, obviously they mentioned her in Bloodlines. I hope they don't bring her back. I love her, and I know that if she gets brought back, she's getting done like clear. Hopefully not as bad of a death, but she is getting killed if she returns. So I kind of don't want her to return because I love her and she deserves better than that. And oh my gosh, I love these movies. And thank you for watching an hour and 40 minutes of me ramble about these movies. This was really fun to make, and I had a great time rambling about it. And yeah, I guess I'd like to close out by saying Kimberly's the queen. Final Destination 4 sucks. Don't watch it. Um, and I really need Eric to come see me in my room. Like, I'm free whenever. Uh, the actor, the character, I'll take whatever. As long as he doesn't rope me into all that death bullshit, yeah, I'm open. So, thanks for watching, y'all, and stay safe out there. Watch for any, log trucks or planes or literally anything that could kill you. I know I will. Also, Rip Tony Todd, like he was, God, okay, not to go on, but like he was such a good part of the franchise, and I really liked the send off they gave him in six. It was sweet. Um, I loved his character, and he's kind of the only one. He's more iconic than Kimberly, if I'm being honest, but like he's the only one I would allow to be as iconic as Kimberly. Yeah.